Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. This is Hunter here, and I'm here with Scott. Scott, how you doing, my friend?
So good.
All right, so we're not going to really pussyfoot around here. We are talking about The Boss, which is...
Not the boss, if you will.
which is not awesome. It just to totally ruin our review.
Oh, Hunter, you ruined it.
I know. I'm sorry. I gotta be honest with you, man. I don't get why people like Melissa McCarthy. I don't know if it's because she's the underdog, because she's, a white woman, she's fat. Like, I don't know what it is, but golly, man, people love this woman. I don't get it. I really don't. And after seeing Ghostbusters, I got it even less, to be totally honest. So I don't know, man. I think she sucks, to be totally honest. I think she's not as annoying as Rebel Wilson, but she's pretty fucking annoying. I think I don't think she's funny.
Yeah,
I really don't.
I would rather see her in a drama than a comedy, wouldn't you?
Well, it's funny because she was in that movie with Bill Murray as St. Vincent, and she was actually good in that. I was like, oh, wow, that's surprising. But I was that person when Bridesmaids came out, and I was like, it was okay.
Spy was good.
No, Spy was amazing, and it hurt me to admit Spy was amazing. Because I think Paul Feig is just fucking lame, but it hurt me to do that, but... So all you DC fans who go like, you don't like our movies, oh god, saying Melissa McCarthy was a good movie, I think that took years of my life, but if something's good enough, I give credit where credit's due. But this movie, Scott, do you want to go over the plot of this very quickly?
So, Michelle, who's played by Melissa McCarthy, ends up getting into jail for insider trading, and loses her company to Renault, which is played. He's good stuff, including Game of Thrones, which he's been excellent in, and Elf, which I adore. He's the angry elf, if you're So she ends up moving in with Claire, played by Kristen Bell, and comedy ensues. Not quite the same person. They don't quite get along all the time, but there's up and down and a few bumps in the road. Yeah, just to... I just had to write this down. There's a scene where her bed collapses and, she flies into the side of the wall.
Yeah.
It's just gags like that, a lot of falling gags, a lot of fat gags. And one thing I noticed, I just want to point out, she's wearing a turtleneck throughout the entire thing. And I think it's to just cover up her neck, I guess. But it's just very obvious the whole time. And she wears it I don't know, maybe she was going through... maybe it was Thanksgiving or something. She was eating a lot, and she's like, well, give me a turtleneck, I'll be alright. No one knows. I noticed it.
So I looked it up. She just had neck surgery, and so she was wearing her neck brace, so they put the turtleneck on over it.
That just makes her look like she has a big old fat, neck.
Yeah. I honestly thought if they put a collection of scarves around her neck, it would have looked a lot worse.
How...
Or less bad.
Why can't they just be like, hey, let's wait till it heals so she doesn't look like she has a big fat neck? What?
Yeah, that too.
Strange to me. Certain things you can't control, obviously, but I don't know. It just seems like, well, I don't know. It was very noticeable for me personally.
Oh no, I agree with you. And let's talk about a problem that we need to address, and that's Kristen Bell. Kristen Bell is in one of my favorite shows ever, Veronica Mars. She was in Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Of course, she was, what's her name, Elsa in Frozen. I still haven't seen Frozen all the way through. I
haven't either.
I don't care enough. Tangled's a better movie. I don't care what anyone says. Kristen Bell's amazing. She's married to Dax Shepard, whatever. I'm better, but, sorry, bitterness, but
she's also great in House of Lies.
That is true. Did you watch Housewives?
Yeah, excellent show.
Okay, I did
Cheadle.
too.
I like that movie or that show. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, I like that show quite a bit too. And
she's kind of sassy and like really like kind of she's stone cold.
Yeah, she's sarcastic as hell. She's fucking sexy as hell too. She's a hell of an actress, and she really
yeah, for sure.
And so I don't understand who her agent is, who keeps getting her these like really crappy movie roles. I remember she was in this movie with Josh Duhamel, where When in Rome, which was absolutely atrocious. I just don't get how she's always in, for the most part, pretty not awesome movies. So The Boss was written by Melissa McCarthy and Bill Falcone. And Bill Falcone, of course, is her husband, but...
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's her husband. That's the guy she hits in the throat with the with the tennis ball, which I gotta admit was probably one of 2 laughs I got out of the movie, just because it came from nowhere. It was like, wow, okay, kind of a bitchy thing to do. And the other laugh I got was when she told Kristen Bell's character, Claire, that her outfit for a date looked like she would shop at CVS. That just caught me kind of off guard. I was like, so I got like a chuckle out of that. But for the most part, Scott, this movie, it copies from other movies. There's this big fight scene in the middle that's clearly taken from Anchorman. That whole gag where she flies in the ceiling, that's from Neighbors. This movie just borrows from other movies and doesn't do the gags half as well as the original movies did. I thought this movie was really bad. Not as bad as... Actually, I think this was worse than Tammy, to be totally honest with you, now that I think about it. I think I hated this more. So, yeah, what did you kind of think, man?
I'm going to surprise you a little bit, because
oh, God.
I laughed through a portion of this movie. Not all of it. I surprised myself. I hated so many things about this movie, but I have to admit, I laughed at some of the jokes. There were certain parts where it seems like she took time to write lines for certain situations that I thought were funny. I laughed out loud a few times. And I gotta put it out there, because I can't just stand by and know that I laughed. No, I'm just kidding. There was certain, I feel like there was certain, it wasn't the gags, but it was just her comments. And I feel like the character she was playing was like a very power-hungry woman who just had to really win at everything. I feel like when it didn't go over the top, it was funny, but it was too over the top most of the time.
I will admit there were a couple... I mean, the things that made me laugh weren't really jokes. So, God, I'm trying to think of where I even laughed. The CVS comment, that made me laugh. Kristen, the daughter, Kristen Bell, Claire's daughter, Rachel, at a point she like walks into a closet and sees Michelle there, and she's like, "What the hell?" or like, "What the shit?" And that caught me off guard. So I mean, there were a couple little things like that.
I forget. I don't have the page up right now. Tito, who was on Reno 911.
Oh yeah,
for a bit.
Yeah.
I forget the actor's name. I thought he was funny. I got a couple laughs out of him because he was.
Oh,
just
you thought he was funny?
Yeah, I thought he was like he was just like pumping her up and just like, oh yeah, like yeah, you bad.
I thought he was coonish as hell.
I mean, he was, but I feel like he was playing it up. Like he was some dude that was playing it up, and I don't know. I thought that was kind of fun. I liked him from Reno 911.
So there's a scene in the movie where they're like clean. Michelle's getting her teeth whitened or cleaned or some shit, and Claire's helping her out with it, and she's like, "Who took my baseball?" And then he's like, "Who's on my baseball?" or whatever the hell he says. And that gag was funny for like 15 seconds. But that scene really encompasses the movie because it goes on so much longer than it needs to. And any joke that they have that is kind of funny, they just run into the fucking ground. And there's
one in particular that reminds me of that where they're together. Her and Claire are together, and they're like feeling each other's boobs, and they're just like sitting there, just like touching him, and like, okay, that's awkward, and then it like keeps going and going, like, okay, it's just weird now. You're just standing there. It's not funny anymore. But like you said, epitome of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, the movie, it's bad, man. It really is bad, and it really made me think back to Tammy, where I just thought, wow, you guys are husband and wife. You should not be writing together, because clearly one of you isn't able to say no and be like, oh, we shouldn't put this in here. This would be dumb. The biggest travesty is Peter Dinklage is in this movie, and what poor Renal, I think is the way he changes his name to. Man, poor Peter Dinklage, man. I'm restarting Game of Thrones, right? I'm a couple episodes in. I'm like 4 episodes in. Peter Dinklage is awesome. He really is. I'm gonna butcher his name. Is it Tyrion? Is that right?
Yeah, Tyrion Lannister. Yeah, he's super cool. He just drinks constantly and is just always sleeping with a bunch of women.
He
just doesn't care about anything, essentially.
Yeah, no, he's a G, and I gotta be honest, man. I remember seeing him in Elf, and laughing so hard, and even seeing him in, oh god, even though I hate this movie, even seeing him in Pixels, I thought he was one of maybe the only thing. It was not the
worst part of that movie.
Yeah, like I mean, enjoy is a bit of a stretch, but I really did think he was actually much better than he should have been, to be totally honest. But man, it's just it kills me just how wasted he really is in this movie. And seeing him and Melissa McCarthy make out is horribly uncomfortable. Like, it's uncomfortable in a way that, oh man, I might even want to walk in on. I would maybe even take walking in on my parents than seeing Melissa McCarthy and Peter Dinklage make out. It was really uncomfortable, but I don't know, man. Getting to kind of my personal final thoughts on this. There's no reason to spend a lot of time in this movie. It's pretty dumb. It's really dumb. I did get a few hard laughs out of it, though. I got maybe 3 laughs where I went, okay, like, so I will spare it from a go fuck yourself or an F. So I will give it a solid D+. Scott, your thoughts, sir?
Bravo, sir, because I was right there. Even though I laughed at a few parts of it, did not justify the plot or the other gag jokes or any of it, really. So it was just not funny all the way through, and just kind of a bad plot altogether. And I got to give it a C-.
Wow, you went higher than I did. I'm shocked.
I know. I'm shocked.
A C-. Wow.
If I didn't laugh like as much as I did, it would have been lower. I got to be fair, you know.
Okay, that's fair. I'm surprised. I just didn't think you'd go that high. I thought you'd be right around D+ with me. I mean,
it's pretty close.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, Melissa McCarthy, don't write with your husband anymore. It doesn't work. Or
just don't write at all. I mean, that's probably the better option.
Let Paul Feig do Spy 2 for you, because that's all you should be doing. You should not be focused on a Ghostbusters sequel, good sir. But sorry, that was me telling him.
Good news. Okay.
Yeah, but guys, have you seen The Boss? I actually watched the unrated version, so I do feel like it got a little raunchier. But I did get there was some enjoyment to be had out of the unrated version.
I agree with you there.
Okay, let me backtrack to one last thing I wanted to bring up. So I called her Manser, or the hell his name is, pretty coonish. The biggest coon award for this movie goes to T-Pain, who came,
yes.
Who, oh my god, and that's why I'm giving it a D+, because I was almost around C- with you, but man, when you see Melissa McCarthy come out rapping to All I Do Is Win, Oh God!
I rolled my eyes.
It is cringeworthy. And then T-Pain comes out of nowhere, and then seeing Kristen Shaw, Louise Belcher in this, and she's just wasted. But oh man, Melissa McCarthy rapping T-Pain, that. Oh, you want to talk about just eye rolling? I could feel your eye roll all the way from over here with that.
Thanks. That makes me feel like you're close.
Oh, it was bad. It was really bad. So, yeah, just D+ for me, C- for Scott. But guys, let us know what you thought of The Boss if you happen to be quote lucky on a quote enough to see it. You can follow us here on SoundCloud so you can be the first to hear our new reviews at soundcloud.com/realpineapple775. You can like us on Facebook at The Real Pineapple, and you can follow me on the Twitter at jhunterrealpineapple. Follow Mr. Colin on Twitter at The Real O'Neill, and you can follow Mr. Scott Neerman on Twitter at
Neerman the First. Guys,
thank you so much for listening. We will have quite a few different reviews up for you guys next week, including one for Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Sausage Party, and some other things as well. Guys, thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Peace.